Greetings, hip cats. Slide into my pad. Let imagination be your passport. And welcome to the Kingdom of Keys. Well, my hip cats, we have a rare opportunity right now. As the spirits are willing, it is now time for us to journey across that great divide through the veil, separating the worlds, ours, and eternity, as we cross over to the other side, baby. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And now, as promised, our mystery guest has arrived. A man who needs no introduction. One of the most profound and notable scientists of the 20th century. His name says it all, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, bring him in, Albert E=mc² Einstein. Welcome, Dr. Einstein. What an honor and pleasure it is to have you here in the kingdom. I must say, from all of the people, we extend our gratitude for your brilliance and your contributions to science. But it would be unfair for me to pretend as though I understand anything you're talking about. You know what I'm saying, my man? You're like a genius from another planet, my baby. But let me tell you something. I gots to know one thing. I gotta know one thing. What's with the hair, man? I'm digging it. In the beginning of the 20th century, it was very, very exciting. All sorts of wonderful, wonderful things were happening in the world of physics and mathematics. In my laboratory, we were trying to figure out why, when light hit certain metals, you would get an electric current. Well, I had this great idea. Light is just a little particle. And then it hit the metal and it knock electrons. I get the Nobel Prize for this brilliant idea. And then, in New York, in 1921, I believe, they gave me a ticker tape parade. And then, after the parade, I went to comb my hair. And all the ticker tape was stuck in my hair. So I said, to hell with that. I leave my hair just like it is. Crazy like me. You know, not like these kind of tight wig. Oh, you people, some of you guess. It's hard to know if there is a wig too small or maybe the head too big.
Albert, you make me laugh sometimes with your jokes. What a funny man you are. But I must say, Albert, let's be very honest. Ooh, your methods for developing a fascinating notion of relativity are quite, well, let's just say, questionable, shall we say? The notion that there is no inherent inertial reference point is a requirement, as you must point out, which you have, I must say. However, we think that, well, it's clear, I would say, that your strong desire to reduce the ether, that is, the medium that makes up all space. For that matter, energy traversing through the ether and matter being created from the ether is an old and very dear theory to all of us. But you decided that that could no longer be useful to your theories. And
Pepperoni and meatballs.
you made a fundamental error. Well, not you, my good man, but those men that you tend to enjoy referring to, the Michelson-Morley team, who, by their calculations, demonstrated to their satisfaction, and evidently to yours, that the ether did not exist, and they're rendering your relativity theories not just possible, but probable. Well, my good man, I must say that you, and particularly the team of Michelson and Morley, who went about the task of making this theoretical problem resolved, neglected one very fundamental piece. Their assumption was fundamentally flawed in the notion that they could detect motion of the Earth through the ether as it orbits the sun by demonstrating the change in light spectra depending upon whether there was or was not ether through which the Earth was moving. The idea that the motion would affect the light spectra. And when the results were published, there was no change in the light spectra from one position to another, indicating that, to your knowledge, or to Michelson and Morley's assumptions, this was a proof that ether did not exist, the so-called negative result, which helped your theories. The fundamental flaw, of course, is the assumption that ether, this fundamental state of low-energy substance, which we cannot measure, would act as though it were matter and refractive changes happening in light resultant, which, of course, is a flawed assumption. So the test itself was irrelevant. As a matter of fact, had it been positive, you would not, or they would not have been measuring ether, my dear man, but something else altogether.
Well, Sir Isaac, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and truck off?
I beg your pardon?
A dance contest I'm talking about. Trucking, baby.
Don't be preposterous. Such brilliant minds. However, these theories tend to be confusing at times. And I think it is wise to invoke the all-knowing and powerful wisdom of the great Jared.
For every in, there is an out. For every up, there is a down. For every down, there is a duck.
Such wisdom, my all-knowing Jared. Let me rephrase, in my own words, your thoughts, and please allow me to restate what I think you're saying. And that might be, those theories are particularly special when they illuminate a curiosity that we may have about this big, beautiful world that we live in. Am I on the right track, my all-knowing and powerful Jared?
Oh, great. You didn't tell me I had a grape seed here. What?
The great and powerful Jared has spoken.
Well, my good friends, it's time to go. But don't miss our next adventure when Sir Isaac Newton will answer a very, very interesting question. Next time. In the meantime, don't forget, try to keep some spunk in that trunk, a smile on your dial, and fire in your desire.